guys, welcome back to Let's Talk, and today I want to unbox the new Tiny Tina's Wonderlands Xbox controller from Power A. So, let's talk. So, I actually saw this pop up on my Instagram feed, and I was always one for first-party controllers. I like the ones that it comes with, or just the typical Microsoft ones. But I'm a big Borderlands fan, and I saw Tiny Tina had their spin on a controller, that's a theme. And I've had friends use the Power A, and it is licensed by Xbox. It's just not the wireless one. This is a wired controller. So I figured for the $40 I wanted to check it out, and it'd be a cool unboxing for the channel. So let's pop this thing open and see what's inside. So again, it's a wired controller. I'm gonna use it on my PC. I'm at my desk, so I'm not really too worried about the wire, and I guess it saves me on batteries, or if I have to recharge them or whatever, so saves the hassle there. Not too much on packaging. For display purposes, you can disconnect the wire. It feels pretty close to a normal Xbox controller, I would say. It's honestly like, if you compare it, like this is the Gears of War 5 one, I think it is. If you compare it, it's pretty damn close, I'm not gonna lie. I actually am pretty happy with that. I didn't think it would be. And it also has the back buttons, which are fully mappable, that they do say on the box. Again, I've never used one. And then down here there's a little a mic setting, so you can go higher and lower on the settings on the mic. It's light, but it's also doesn't have batteries in it, as this one would have. So maybe without the batteries in it, it would be the same weight, you know. But I mean, the buttons and the triggers have a slightly different design to it. It feels like the buttons. It doesn't feel exactly like an OEM controller, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised, and the Tiny Tina paint job on it is just very cool. So at the least, I have a cool piece in my collection now. So unboxing it the rest of the way, you got your little how to plug it in instructions, which we don't really need that. I'm sure this probably tells you how to map it and all that stuff, but I've never used any of the rear buttons, so I don't know how far I'll get into that. It's got the nice little Velcro strap on it, so you can tie it up when you're not using it and tuck it away. And it's just a regular USB, so you can use this console or PC. And that's basically it. So you plug it into the top here, and that's basically it as far as that goes. And there is a 3mm, I guess that's a 3 or 3.5 millimeter, yeah, 3.5 millimeter stereo headphone jack on the bottom, so you can plug in your wired mic. I'm gonna plug this in, and I'm gonna play some games on it. Probably play some Tiny Tina and some Lego Star Wars, and we'll see how it goes. And then we'll finish up this video. Alright, so I just played some games with the Power A Tiny Tina Edition controller for the Xbox One/Series X and S. Right off the bat, I could tell the difference between this and the OEM factory Microsoft controllers. It's not terrible. It's not like Mad Catz back in the day, or all those other third-party controllers. This is still licensed by Xbox, so they got pretty close, but it still feels off. It like a regular Xbox controller. I have so many of these laying around, but they're just a regular OEM Xbox controller just feels better. I don't know if it's because it's heavier. It's just, I prefer it. The thumbsticks on these, I want to say that there's a little bit more resistance than the factory, maybe just because it's a brand new controller. Maybe if I break it in, it'll get better. But right off the bat, I would prefer the factory controller, and I would probably spend the extra $20 and get the OEM Microsoft ones. So, I mean, I could recommend this for someone who is not a hardcore enthusiast of, like, they need the factory stuff and the best of the best. If you just need a controller or a second player, or in my case, this is just probably going to be a collector's item and sit on the shelf next to my Hyperkin Duke controllers and just look pretty. Because it is a cool looking controller, I like the colors, and again, I'm a big Borderlands fan, but it just, something feels off. Maybe it's the wire hanging out of it, it's the weight, I'm not entirely sure. The buttons don't feel perfect compared to what I'm used to. So overall, I don't think I would continue to use this as an everyday controller. Maybe I'll leave it laying around if all my batteries are done, which probably will never happen just because I have so many controllers around. But again, it's not the first controller I would pick up and grab, but it is pretty. So for a collector, I say yes. For someone who is going to play with it all the time, it's really preference, I guess. I don't know longevity with the PowerA controllers. This is my first PowerA. I've always gone OEM, so I can't speak on how long it'll last, but it is cheaper. It's about $20–25 cheaper depending on what color or sales. But overall, it's not the one I would pick up first over an OEM one. So I can't, it's hard for me to recommend it just because of who I am and who I like, what I like out of a controller. It's hard for me to recommend it because it's just not a controller I would personally use. Again, it's just probably going to sit on the shelf and look pretty and be a collector's item. So that's it. Overall, I mean, $40, it works, but it's not the factory controller. So that's my review. If you guys have other PowerA things you want me to try out or you guys use, let me know. Let's talk down in the comments. Does anybody like the Elite controllers? Because that's another one I've never gotten. I've never gotten to the back buttons. So just regular factory controllers. I like the design labs where you can pick your colors and stuff like that. But that's about it. I don't get too fancy with the controllers. I'm kind of transitioning to mouse and keyboard now that I use my PC a little bit more. And that's about it. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Game on.